Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for starting a bit late. We apologize for that small hiccup, but we are ready to set the roll and board moving. Welcome to the 15th edition of Outright Financial Matters webinar series, brought to you by Finance Leap, where we financially learn, be inspired, and perform. And this evening, we are going to focus on an interesting topic that touches almost all of us: taxation, opportunities, and challenges. I'll share with you a short story of a young lady in Kisumu who had a small shop. And that small shop, she was always looking forward to growing it and expanding it and looking forward to converting it to a supermarket, employing other people, and supporting the community. Now, one day, a taxman came to the community. He started collecting taxes in that community. And the lady had a taxman around. She said, "Hey, are they also going to take part of the money that I've been working hard to collect?" I hope there are no persons like those in the audience, because taxes help to grow our nation and provide goods and services. So to handle this topic is a seasoned, professional, and experienced personality, Mr. Abel Kagumire. Mr. Abel Kagumire is the Commissioner Executive Operations, Uganda Revenue Authority, and until the recent past, he was the Commissioner Customs, Uganda Revenue Authority. He has worked with Uganda Revenue Authority since 2002 and has risen through the ranks. He holds an MBA and is a graduate of Johannesburg School of Finance. He's an accredited work customs valuation expert and trainer, a fellow of the Commonwealth Association of Tax Administrators, a graduate of Executive Leadership Program at INSEAD France. He sits on many boards. I will just mention a few. He sits on Rugema University Council, ADRA Uganda, Nyaka International, Ishaka Adventist Hospital, Old Kampala Hospital, and is a member of Lions International. He's an elder in Seventh-day Adventist Church and a patron of Uganda Revenue Authority Seventh-day Adventist Church Fellowship. He's married to one wife with 4 children. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome Commissioner Abel Kagumire. We are glad and honored to have you this evening.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
In the audience, Mr. Kagumire, are business people, are entrepreneurs, are board members, are the academia, are individuals looking forward to see how can we expand our knowledge around tax, and students. They are eagerly waiting to hear from you, Mr. Kagumire.
Thank you.
I'm Charles Barugahare, the founder of Finance Leap, where we financially learn, be inspired, and perform, and your moderator today. Dear participants, thank you for choosing to be here with us this evening. Mr. Kagumire, kindly greet the people, and on a light note, tell us, when did you first interface with tax? What was it about? And how did you feel when you interfaced with tax?
Thank you so much. And I'm happy to be here, Mr. Bargari and the team. And I want to appreciate the work we are doing at Finance Leap to change the mind of people and give them knowledge, give them skills, and also develop their attitude. So we want to really thank you for the work you're doing. My first interface with a taxman is when I joined to work at Uganda Revenue Authority in 2002, and I was told that they are going to chop my salary, and on the gross they tax it 30%, and I pay taxes to government. So you see the money is too much, then the take home is small. That was my first interface. And I was coming from an environment where the exemptions were many, the defense forces. So there were a lot of exemptions in that area. So I was not used to paying tax. But when I was young, also my father was a chief who would look for those who refused to pay tax. Graduated tax. I used to see him. And the people, when they come, people run away, others hide. So that's the first time I said, "Hey, this is uncouth. It's not fair. Why are people running away?" Until he said, until they pay tax, that's when they learn how to work. So he used to sit with them and encourage them to work so that they get what to pay tax on. So that was my first, in the early days when I was young, when I interfaced. But I thought the taxman was bad because everyone would run away from the taxman. So I grew up with that mindset until I became a tax collector myself and realized actually it's noble, it's nice, as long as you tell people where your taxes, what your taxes are doing, and as long as you are fair in collection of this tax, then you would have no issues. The challenge has always been those methods that you would use. People don't know what they are paying. You don't explain. Pay. Because the law says pay. So we have come out of so many things. At Uganda Revenue Authority, we do more of education, we do more of engagement, and we do more. We cannot enforce before we educate you. We cannot enforce before we engage you. That's the level where we have reached it. So we've come from that uncouth type of graduated tax now to where we are really looking at the taxpayer as our biggest customer. Yes.
Wonderful. So it is not surprising that people still have that fear because you also had it.
Yes.
But that is on a lighter note. URA has been changing and transforming. And because of that, opportunities have been created in the tax system for supporting individuals, small and medium-sized companies. What are some of the things that you are seeing as opportunities for helping the individuals, the small and medium-sized companies to cooperate with you as sustainable customers?
Thank you so much for that question. I'm happy you have started with, because majority of Ugandans are actually in that sector or small and medium size. In fact, of recent, you have seen the policy. It is saying even for startups, they should be given some time to grow and graduate to some level. So that is a sector that we have been
How much time is that?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
3 years. And so that the sector of small and medium size is where majority of Ugandans are, who are starting business or have already started. But the law is very clear. What I want to tell the viewers and the listeners is that the URA can never tax you when you are not making a profit. And that's where most Ugandans get it wrong. We can never get any money from you if you are not making a profit. The challenge has always been you don't keep records. You start your farm, start your shop, start your transport business, you buy a taxi. The taxi is not even in your names. You start taking passengers. You start your garden. You pull your Irish potatoes and matoke in your garden. You start sending to the market in Chibuye market, and you start growing. And as you grow, for us, we are watching. As Uganda Revenue Authority, we keep moving around. Pass Katwe, we see what you're doing. We pass Chanja, we see what you're doing. We pass Chariwajara, we see what you're doing. Say, this person has even bought a car. Huh? Slowly, you started when you were small. You started buying a car. You start putting up some rentals. We see them, and they are yours. So we come and knock on your door, and we say, "We've been watching you for like 5 years. I think you've reached a level where you can pay us some tax." Then we ask the first question: do you have a TIN? Do you have a tax identification number? Say, yeah, I have a TIN, but I got it when I was going to buy my car, my first car. So now chat shows by the time you got 50 million to buy your first car, it means you got it from somewhere. There was some business you are doing, something small, but it took you long to get a tax identification number. So the question you are raising is, our people in Uganda, they are in the tax paying bracket, but because they are informal and we don't know them, we don't have records about them, they hang in there until something surfaces. Because you bring a car, you must have a team. So we get to know you. Now we trace you backwards. Where did you get the 50 million to buy this car? Say, I have a farm. I have a shop. So we come to your shop. Say, oh, how is your shop? Yeah, it is here, input, making losses. Okay, tell. If you are making losses, we cannot ask you for tax. So the point I want to make is that medium-sized companies or small business entrepreneurs have somehow failed to keep records. But if they were keeping records, the taxman would not even disturb them. No, because if for example, in the medium-sized company, if you are making 150 million in a year,
Sales.
Yes, 150 million gross, moreover, is when we come to you. We have started on a few who are doing 80 million and 30 million just to grow them. But still we come when you say, I have made some profit. But when we come to your shop, you are selling, you are buying, you are selling, you are buying. You don't have even a register. You don't have anything. So what do you want the taxman to do? And yet we are seeing the shop grow. So we come and say, okay, we are going to estimate. Yes, I think should be paying us like 300,000 share. You pay it because you think now, even if I pay URA 300,000, I can move on. You start paying us 300, and we receive it. But we see your shop growing, we see it growing. We come back and say, man, lady, please keep records so that we don't overtax you. You say, I think your business has grown. Now we want 1 million. Now you start shouting. Why are you asking me for 1 million? I was paying 300, but you did not keep any record. But let me tell you, the people who start businesses and keep a record, you ask them. We don't even tax them because they are making losses. Then if you're making a loss, we cannot tax you. No. They will show it clearly. This is what I earn. This is what I spent on. I don't have any profit. And we have nothing to tax. But if you don't have any record, you are calling a taxman to estimate. So I'm encouraging Ugandans and our viewers to look at this culture of paying taxes as noble. It's important for our country. The first point to start with is the tax identification number. Just if you're above 18 years, okay? Above 18 years, you qualify to pay tax. Whether business has started or not, TIN is free. Getting a tax identification number is free. Go log on the URA website, put your particulars, have a TIN. Okay, show people, I haven't paid tax, but I have a tax identification number. So that is where the challenge is with the small and medium businesses. They have remained largely informal when actually they should be formal. So they force the taxman to formalize them. And in the process of the taxman trying to formalize them, now that's where the
pull and push.
Comes.
So you appear to present a picture similar to a policeman. You say, there is this small offense which you have committed. You come and you reach the police station and record the statement and go back home. And when you reach there, you said, remove shoes. Is that the kind of picture when you come when the person has no records? Starts to be prevented because the person has no records, or you are different.
No, we are very different, my brother.
Uh-huh.
URA, I've told you, has really changed.
Uh-huh.
Told you our strategy
Mhm.
is to engage,
Mhm.
educate. We only enforce on someone who has chosen to evade the tax. But someone who wants to be educated, we have a whole team. They will come, even if it is in your home, and educate you. Like I am here, I'm trying. Ask me any question, I'll answer. What I can't, I can get you more information and give it to you. If you want me to come and engage you at your shop, I have a team which will come and engage you at the shop. But there are people who have remained defiant, I would call them. Say, I will never pay tax. I don't want to pay tax. Omusolo gutuyamba ki? Ngate tulaba kye bituyamba. Even when you educate, even when you engage, so as a taxman, what do? You have that arm of the law which gives you power to enforce. Like you said in police, if they tell you, put tires, you refuse. Put insurance, you refuse. Please drive with a permit, you refuse. So what do you want the policeman to do? They just leave you. He don't leave you. So even as we go to those who have refused to comply, they are the ones normally who normally cause us trouble and create a bad name for Uganda Revenue Authority. They know what to do, but they refuse to comply. We call them, they are not willing. You know, when you reach a level, you're a taxpayer, but you are not willing, then the arm of the law has to come.
So, listeners, those who have just joined in, today we are having Commissioner Executive Operations, Mr. Abel Kagumire, talking about tax opportunities and challenges. You seem to paint a picture that the challenge around taxes is from the taxpayer, there's no challenge from the tax collector. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, absolutely no.
How do we connect the two to make sure that the challenge of the taxpayer is also reconciled with the challenge that are around with the tax collector?
Yes. Our biggest challenge, which I can mention, has been the tax education component. You realize what we are saying here up to now, we are doing tax education. But sometimes the people to educate are also not having time to be educated. They are really running up and down. And we come to them actually when they want to know, but they didn't get time to learn some of the things 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But that's an area where we are focusing on. And how are we doing it? We had left it with ourselves. We thought we can manage on our own. And we said, no, let's go to our taxpayers. They are the willing, who are willing to support others because they have benefited from paying tax. So they educate, we work with them, we support them. Associations like Kasika, associations like Futa, now Finance Leave, and the others. So whoever wants to come and work with us to educate the public about taxation, we have opened all the channels. All the media now, you see us there. Of recent, you saw in the newspapers, Book a Day and New Vision. There's what we call Ask Commissioner Jen. Who's a commissioner in Uganda? That one. All the questions the people are asking, we capture them, amplify them for the whole public. So now we see that challenge, we are overcoming it. But I admit before, it was a huge challenge. We kept our laws to ourselves. We kept the information to ourselves. Then we come at the last when we want to collect. No, we are now saying, you get to know. By the time we come, we say, on this date, at this time, we talk to you. And we sign. Sometimes we even sign after those engagements. So I think that's the big challenge that we had, which we've addressed in the way I've explained. And we are seeing so many people coming to ask questions on rental, ask questions on presumptive tax, ask questions on income tax, questions on customs taxes. So many questions now. So we felt that when they come, let's amplify them in the papers. We know there are those who are not reading book a day and New Vision now want to go to radios, want to go to, we are already on TVs. So that we think that one will now bring us closer to our customer, who is the taxpayer.
That's number one. Awareness. Any others?
The other second one is to minimize our enforcement activities so that the public looks at URA not as an enforcer, but as an engaging person, a tax educator. Before, the perception I painted when I was young, some people in the public still feel we are harsh, we are too hard, we are unapproachable, people cannot get to our offices, people cannot, we wield a lot of power, a lot of authority, you know. So we want to also break that culture, that mindset of thinking you cannot approach taxpayer. How? You are our customer. The taxpayer is our king. So how can we do that? So we've simplified that by coming up with what we call a taxpayer charter. Now, this taxpayer charter, we sit with them. If you want to clear your goods out of Uganda Revenue Authority, you will get them out in 2 days. Okay? Or in 1 day. If you want a service on our desk, the maximum time we can serve you is 30 minutes. That is if you are walking in. But we would encourage you to be online. So we've created so many online platforms, Touchpoint. So everyone who wants to reach us can reach us websites, email, WhatsApp is also there, hotlines, toll-free calls, so that whoever wants to reach us, you don't have to come out of your comfort. You just ask you to pay taxes. You don't have to go to the bank even. Mobile money payments, there are paid systems which are there. So life has become so easy for a taxpayer. And that's an area where also we used to have a gap. For you to pay tax, you have to look for a bank, then go to the bank, then pay, get a PRN. Now, even in your home, even in USA, wherever you are, you can authorize payment and receive money online. So that simplification of processes and procedures through the taxpayer charter has really also supported us a lot in coming closer to our taxpayers and removing that culture of saying we are high-handed. We are high-handed. We have broken that culture and syndrome. It used to be there, I admit. I think the other challenge I can mention, what they are asking us is what are the taxes doing for us? We are paying, yes. What is it in for me? We don't see the roads, we don't see this. So for a long time, we have been saying, for us, we do collection, government will explain. And that's the truth, because we are tax administrators. So we collect, then government explains. So we said, but you're also government. Work with the ministry as possible. Have dialogue. Have, like in Kororo, exhibit what you have done. Explain to the public. For example, now like the budget speech. Very few Ugandans know even what was in there for them. Demystify it through post-budget conferences. Invite people like you who are experts and read through it. Make it so simple for people to appreciate how they are going to benefit. What incentives are there, like in agriculture? What is if they are talking of PDM? How much money has been taken to the parish? What is it going to do? How do I access these circle loans? How do that detail? You explain it. Our minister Matea Kaseja may not explain it at budget speech reading, but we demystify, we create avenues through post-budget engagements to make it easy for them to know how they can benefit from these taxes which they are paying. And in a way now, they know Now they know. But before they would say, you are collecting, but we don't see what the money is doing. So that's another area which we are working on to improve on. And I think government has been very supportive. All ministries, departments, and agencies now work with us to explain where these taxes, what these taxes are doing.
So, Commissioner Abel Kagumire, the audience there is watching and listening, and one of the participants in the audience asked me to ask this question because that was yesterday.
Yes.
He said, this question bothers me, but now that you have this webinar, you should ask it the way I've said you ask it. He said that world over, the easiest way to collect tax is through voluntary tax compliance. He's wondering, is URA moving in that direction? And on the ground, is it actually there? That was his question.
Thank you. That's a very good, question. A good question. From the explanations I have given, that is what we want to achieve, all of us. Voluntary compliance. Willing. We don't have to force you. We just see money clocking in, and it coming in. And some of the initiatives we are doing to increase compliance is to create platforms at URA which are fair to everyone. When they hear this one has been given an exemption, this one did not get, they say, why? We are all Ugandans. We should all be there. If it is a tax incentive, it is open to all Ugandans. If it is a tax incentive for foreigners, it is also clear. It's an incentive for all foreigners who have invested. So if you give a tax holiday, for example, for Ugandans, for example, now I give you an example, hospitality industry. If you build a hotel, like in Kampala, you pay more than someone who has built it 50 kilometers from Kampala. You see, if you are a foreigner, you pay more, 10 million US dollar investment. But for you, a Ugandan, you just need about 370 million. So the thing is there, opportunities are there. People just need to grab them. They are open to everyone. It's not that this one is favored or this one is not favored. That is one aspect of increasing voluntary compliance. The other one is the rates. For example, like people who import, the rates, have you published them for everyone to see? Or you've kept it in your pocket? If I'm to pay $2 for my things which are brought from China, it should be predictable that when I go, this is the $2 I am going to pay. So we've made taxation so predictable for businesses to plan and project. And in this, it has increased compliance. The other one has been to really work with them on some of the laws and amending the laws which are really hard on them, which are making it difficult for them. You remember we had issues with IFRIS, digital tax stamps. So we worked with them. So why if you miss what, say I reduce the penalty. I saw even something on the express penalty scheme, people rioted on it. So you involve them, engage them. They say this works. The idea is good, but the rate is high. So we've worked with them, reduced the rates like on textiles and garments, which were making it difficult because they used to think we value textiles and garments in kilograms. So why do you value them in kilograms? Jita nyama or something. And we've discussed, and the amendment has come through.
Okay.
So that's how we are increasing voluntary compliance. The other one is to guide them on how to keep records. Most people are not compliant because they were not keeping records. So we've made it a staple guide for them what they should keep for a taxman to follow through. And when we go to Chikugo now, you'll find the register. Today I bought this, I sold this. This is my water bill, this is my electricity bill. But we tell them, don't put school fees. Sample, this is how I pay the school fees. No, they are business costs. We call them business what? Business costs. And it's not a ledger, it's not an Excel sheet, but the register is there in the shop. And life is easy. In fact, they are the ones who are now influencing others. They say, for me, because I have this register, they did not even take anything because they have realized I'm making a loss. So, but for those who are refusing to keep records, we keep disturbing them because we want them to comply, really. The starting point is that one, record keeping.
Okay. Dear listeners, I seem to see the aspect of records. I seem to see the aspect of awareness. I seem to see the aspect of being able to connect and work well with Uganda Revenue Authority for you to manage taxes better. But Commissioner Kagumire, when you go down on the ground and you see how people are talking about the tax challenges they are going through, in terms of the big bill they have been presented with that they cannot afford to pay, and are in the process of negotiating, and a certain percentage has to be deposited first before they are allowed to proceed, you tend not to reconcile what you are saying with what is actually some of the people are actually saying on the ground.
I thank you. But I think that should be a case by case. Like I have told you, no one in URA should tax you when you are making a loss. We tax you when you are making
Profit.
How do we get to know that you are making a profit? It's through the record that you have kept. Now, for us to say that we don't give you opportunities to grow, it's not true. For example, if we assess you and we say we are demanding you 100 million and you cannot afford, no URA officer is going to come and close your business. Because if we close it, how will you get money to pay us? So we call you on table. We say, now we have got you on this one. You have been declared. This is 100 million. Any excuse? You can argue and argue until you say, this one, I don't have any record to explain it. This one, I need to pay it.
You surrender.
But I don't have it. So we say, so what do? You want to pay slowly? We call it installment payments. We allow you to pay slowly, so that we don't break you. So URA has that. You pay in installment until you finish that outstanding. And we work with you. The whole issue is around, can you comply? If you've agreed to pay 30 million or 100 million per month, did you pay it on the time you agreed? Or if you did not pay, did you come to tell us why you failed to pay it? That is the rapport, the engagements that now we are doing with our taxpayers. So we are not here to cripple anyone. We are here to encourage you to do business, because if you don't do business, we also have nowhere to get taxes from. Yes. We're also encouraging business owners, especially those who have workers who earn more than 220,000. Please declare your people, pay as you earn. Pay as you earn. Let's pick that 30% from you. And most people now want to hide their monies. What is allowance? Per diem. How can per diem be daily? But when we come and say, show us, and we always get those issues. But the whole issue is around dialogue. How can we work closely with the taxpayers and we work with them? We call it a customer journey. We treat the taxpayer as a customer. What journey? How can we work with you? And we work with you by you giving us feedback, and we also reply. We communicate you, we give us feedback, and we honor it, and we take it. We don't treat you for granted.
I'm receiving a number of questions from the audience. Some of those questions are actually questions around information, which you really talked about information around withholding tax. That when do I qualify to withhold the tax? And does it reflect on my ledger, in my PIN, those kind of things? Then do I have to pay? What do I have to pay? How much do I have to pay when I I purchase goods abroad, that's also about the information on specific aspects. But maybe to bring this kind of information aspect home, the issue is the commissioner. You have talked of serious awareness programs that are going on regarding the taxes and how people should pay those taxes. But when I move and I look at the people that even connect with me for financial coaching, for financial training, the questions they ask reflect that on ground. There is that gap that is actually there. So how do we close that gap? Because when I see the questions that are coming in, it's actually information gap challenge.
Okay. And thank you so much for that. Like I told you, it used to be a huge challenge to us, but we have demystified it, and we're almost there. I agree. The information. When you are tailoring the information, you have the small. First of all, you have like the school-going children. So what do you teach them? They have not reached an age of paying tax. So you have to find some content that befits a secondary school child and a primary school child, and then the university students. We have that curriculum of explaining to them, even in their taxation handbooks, what they learn at school. But you'll find like people who are doing sciences, they are not interested. Don't tell us about those things. But the people who are like in business courses, they're much more interested.
Okay.
So I'm trying to show you the difficulty we find. When it comes to the people who have started paying taxes, they're also in segments. Like today, we are talking about the small and medium-sized company. The information you give them is different from the medium tax payers and the large taxpayers. So we have now clustered our information in that category. Even those who have not paid, they are yet to pay. They are potential taxpayers. Those who have started paying, newly registered startups, we have information for them, information pack for them. Those who are been in business and growing and are doing well, they want to ask a lot of things, their purchases. We also explain to them, even the large taxpayer. Now, like withholding tax, it's the tax, like it's an income tax. It's an income tax that is withheld at source. For example, if you have a company like finance what?
Finance leap.
Finance leap. You have people who supply you. Okay? For us, we don't know them. People bring you cameras, people bring you food, people cater for your work. They supply you. We are not there. So if we are saying, if finance leap is registered and formal, let's ask him to withhold this 6% from the people who supplied him. You pay them less. Then for us, we'll come to finance leap. You pay us that money. It is not your money. It was for those people. So actually, they are the ones who have paid tax, not you. That's withholding. Just because we cannot reach them. But what happens when they give you that money, 6% as financially, you use it. Now, really, you use it. Now, what do you want the taxman to do? It was not your money. You used it. It's like, I'll give you another example. NSSA. You know, it's statutory that you have to deduct some percentage to pay NSSA. We don't know the people you are deducting from. Maybe your workers or what. You use the money. So for us, we come for you who used the money, which was not yours. Now, when we say you evaded, you say, yeah, you are finishing my money, but it was not your money. That's what I can talk about withholding tax. Okay. So withholding tax is a compliance tax. So when, for example, we find you compliant, Finance Leap or whatever company, we say, you have been compliant with us for 5 years. We're exempting you from paying 6% withholding tax. We exempt you. But then you use it, it helps your cash flow. Then when you are filing your returns, after you've made money and profits, that's when you start trying to pay that money. So that's how we explain it. But when you go in the book detail of how it is, people put off, they don't want to read anything about it. So we try to simplify the message around these taxes and the jargon around these taxes. On importation, like he has asked, everyone has ever imported. There is what they call import duty.
Okay.
Import duty. Now, there are opportunities because the topic is around opportunities. For example, if you are bringing raw materials and say fertilizers, you're going to put them in your coffee farm, you're going to put them in your whatever, you don't pay. There's no import duty because that's an input going to help you to produce something. There's no import duty. If you are bringing intermediate goods, intermediate goods, I give an example like semi-processed goods. If, for example, you have this shirt, it comes from yarn. Yarn is a raw material, but then after yarn, you get a thread. So if you bring a thread or something, we will tax you some 10%.
Okay.
See how it grows from 0 to 10%. If you bring a car, it's a finished thing. You're going to drive, you pay us 25% because you're not going to manufacture a car. But someone in China who is manufacturing a bus, Kayora, zero. Because those are raw materials for making a bus. So you don't pay anything. Then when you choose to bring luxury goods, you know what they call luxury? You can survive without it. Cosmetics. Yeah, cosmetics.
The babies now complain.
I don't know.
Cosmetics.
I don't know. But for us, we think you can survive without them. Yeah, you can survive. How come men who don't use them have survived?
Okay.
You can survive. So if you choose to bring your cosmetics, you want to bring your wines and spirits to enjoy the wine and the spirit, drink. You want to bring a Range Rover instead of a Wish or a Toyota. You know a Toyota for passenger, you pay less. But if you bring a Range Rover, you pay something higher. So you can see the taxes keep increasing depend on your the type of goods you are bringing. That's how import duty is computed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, dear listeners and viewers, we started a bit late. I beg you give us a few more minutes so that we can really exhaust this topic. In the next 5 minutes, I will be opening the lines so that people can call in, can send messages, so that we listen to you, we attend to you. At Finance Leap, I'm just updating you that we have launched 2 new products, and they are all absolutely free. One is the Youth Financial Empowerment Guide, which you can log in and access for your teens to be able to access finance education. The other is the Finance Mastery course, which you can log in as well and attend. Please spare some time and be able to get some information that can be helpful in line with improving your personal financial life. Now, Mr. Kagumire, every Ugandan is looking forward to understand and appreciate their role and participation in the tax system. Because even those who are babies are taxpayers. Why? When you buy this glass for your baby to use, the money you have paid is on behalf of that child. And therefore, that child will have started paying tax. This brings me back to the issue which many people are concerned with, which you have partly hinted on, but it keeps coming back each time we are explaining to the taxpayers that when money comes to URA, what does it really do? Because that information is not deep there. on the ground. It keeps coming back. And in the awareness we do, we find it struggling. And I know you're also doing your part. Minister of Finance is doing its part. But I think we need to do something more in terms of packaging what we actually do with taxes so that when I sell land and they take off capital gains, they take off withholding tax, then I know maybe something is going to be done with this tax, specifically that I will in the future touch, not even if it is not now.
Okay.
How do we make sure that reaches the public?
Thank you. Thank you. Of course, I work for government, like I told you. I speak more on tax administration and collection. But when it comes to what taxes do for us, we now have a 72 trillion budget. 72 trillion. And the URA has been given a target of 37 trillion. In fact, for us, we say that is too small. We want to collect 40 trillion.
Oh,
Yeah, we want to look for 40 trillion.
wow.
And God will give us energy, and Ugandans will support us. So we that shows you there is a lot government wants to do in the 72 trillion target. But unfortunately, the collection is still low. So what do you expect them to do? They will borrow. And when they borrow, that gap of about 39 trillion, it is me and your grandchild who are going to pay that money. And why are they borrowing? Because the demands from government are increasing day by day. Everyone is asking for a road going to their village. Everyone is asking for a hospital. Medicine in the hospital. We want this school, seed school. We want, so the demands keep piling. And really they are needed. They should be done. But the resource envelope is still small. So what do you do? You call it the cake. You already see, that's what they call a budget. This is what it will do, this is what it will do. Now for people to feel it like we have asked, I've started seeing them with this PDM, the parish development model. Now those who don't need that small money are saying, why are you giving us this small money? Okay, go for a yoga. Yeah? You join a circle or something and they give you money for a yoga. It is there. So if the yoga money is also too small for you, there is what they call operation wealth creation. You want raw fertilizers, you want seeds, you want planting materials, government is providing. All that is your money. When it comes to the roads, I had people complaining, Kampala, we are in potholes. Someone on radio would say this is a pothole city. Now it is a construction site. People are no longer complaining about the construction going, they say there is dust. Oh, so so I think that what has been missing is government explaining what the money has done. For example, this issue of peace and security. Me and you are not young. At least we've been here for some time. You remember when we did not have peace and security? This country was almost ungovernable. But some people, we call them Gen Zs, they have enjoyed the peace for a long time. They don't know what we went through those days. To know that it is your money which created peace and security in this country. Sure. And when you have peace to do your business, move at night, you never used to go with the bus in night. People board the bus at night and go up country these days. It was not possible. But that is money. But you see, for you to quantify peace and security to show how important it is to attract investors to come here and work, I don't know how you want me to do that. But I think the gap has been on us explaining how the ordinary 1 inch, the Ugandan, has benefited from paying these taxes. Now, the other bit is you ask them. We have direct and indirect taxes. Most of them have not paid direct taxes. No, there are very few companies like Finance Leap who are paying direct taxes. but they are enjoying in a way. The most money they pay us, of course, like when you go to a bar, take a beer, you get some money from Uganda breweries. Yeah, if you go and take a wine, we get some money. You take water in this hotel, we get some money. If you do indirect taxes, then we have benefited. And how do you get money to buy that beer? It means you've worked somewhere. There's something you're doing that gave you that money to come and buy this beer. It means you are involved in an economic activity. So the government is trying to encourage Ugandans to get involved in economic income generating activity so that they're able to contribute directly or indirectly.
Now, out there, we have people who have a strong feeling that there is double taxation. Look at this. I earn salary, I put it in the bank, and then there is a tax on that money in the bank. And somebody says, isn't that double taxation? I earn a salary, I put part of it into bonds. To the salary is clear, and it as salary, and I put it into bonds. When I'm to get my return, 10%, 20%, question that people still ask, is that double taxation? Or there is some magic that the URA uses, or the ones that craft policies for taxing, keep targeting the same people for attracting more income instead of expanding and taxing other people.
Okay. Thank you. I want to agree with you. We have a huge informal sector, and there is potential for us to tax the huge informal sector. And that's why we are doing almost everything to expand the tax base and widen it so that everyone contributes more and how it should be. But then there is no one who will do double taxation. Like I said, we follow the money. We follow your money. If you have a company, I don't think you're only getting money. You have land, you have property, you have so many sources of your income. So for us, we follow that. And we are looking for only 30% from your profits for your income. So whether you aggregate, whether you have your rentals, you put it there. Whether you have your land, put it there. Whether you have your business consultancy, put the return. Whether you have importations you have done, put them there. So we just charge 30% of your profit. So there's nowhere where we would say we'll tax you here, tax you here. But whether money went through mobile money, it is your money. Whether it went through the bank, it is your money. Whether it was cash, it is your money. Where we have a challenge is taxing cash because it's hard for me to see cash. But the principle of double taxation is not there. There is nowhere where we tax people. We tax you here, tax you here. Sometimes people confuse URA with the property taxes that are for local governments.
Maybe this one to be specific. I get a salary.
Mm.
It is put in the bank. And there is a tax. When you see your statement, you see tax.
Yes.
On that money that you receive. There's nothing, but it was already taxed before you received it. Isn't that double taxation?
No, but you said that money after getting it from the bank, you've taken it to the bonds.
No. You have gotten it from your employer.
URA has paid me.
You have taken it to the bank, and the bank.
Okay. Is the bank making business or is not making business?
On it.
Yes, because you put your money and ideally it's an interest. So when you save, they should give you interest. So for us, we don't go. We go with the bank. The bank is the one which deducts. I told you earlier on our behalf, and they pay us. So it's the bank paying us. Even in the bonds you took, you earn interest. We are looking for the profit that you have earned, and that's what we tax on. So that's what I said. We just follow your money. So if you want to hide it and keep it as cash, one day you will buy a forest and we will see the money, or you'll buy a car. Yes.
So as we get to our audience, is there any question live from the audience so that we have 1 or 2 minutes to respond to it? Okay. This is a message that came from the former president of the United States of America.
Mm.
And he said that no taxes can be devised which are not more or less inconvenient and unpleasant.
Mm.
What do you say about this? And then you give us your parting shot.
That was his statement.
That was his statement.
I know.
Uh-huh.
I can give my personal example.
Uh-huh.
If they were not deducting my pay as you earn at source, I would find trouble giving it every month. And it all fits into what you said earlier. If I pay this pay as you earn, what is it going to do for me? Will my child go to school and get quality education? Will my child get medication? But you see what makes me look at tax as a burden. I'm saying my child is at home sick. I will not find the medicine I want there. Let me first hold on to pay this man who wants to take my money to do medicine for the whole country. I first save my child. That is the issue which is causing issue. You've moved around. You've seen countries where taxes are working for us. People pay willingly. You don't have voluntary. It's very easy. You just rush even to pay because, when I go, I'll get these services. And that's where we want to be. That's where we want to reach as a country. How will we reach there? When each and every Ugandan participates in this process. Don't leave it to a few. Let's all contribute indirectly or directly. We will all be able to get the services that we need from these taxes. And when we are doing appropriation of these taxes, I would always say, when we are doing appropriation, send the right people in parliament. They will also appropriate these taxes. Send the right people who will represent the Ugandans and appropriate accordingly so that these taxes can reach the intended purpose.
Okay. We are almost coming to the end. These are some of the questions that we respond to and share on our platform. One of them is I would like to know more about tax claimable and the process with which I can follow up and have my taxes that I have overpaid refunded. We respond on our platform. I wish to know something about individual tax versus group tax on small importers in town. Colleagues, we are coming to the end of our webinar. The next webinar is on wealth creation and protection experiences. It will be held on 27th of August, 2025. It will be bigger, it will be bold, and it will be transformative. Commissioner Abel Kagumire, your parting shot.
Thank you so much for having me here. I want to really encourage the listeners and viewers, wherever you are, that paying tax is a noble cause. It is not by force. It is because it's a requirement. Like you go to church and pay to God what belongs to God. You pay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And Caesar is government. Pay as long as you are engaged in meaningful income, please, you pay. And you will see, then ask government, I paid, give me my services.
Okay.
We are there as URA to support you. My number is 0772 142 353. Whenever you have a challenge at Uganda Revenue Authority services, I link you up. Those questions which have come up are on consolidated cargo and groupage cargo. We can explain it. The ledgers, how do you get a refund? We will also explain it. How do you file your return? We will get opportunity. You give me those questions, we will respond to them adequately.
Okay.
But I want to thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here every last Wednesday of the month. where we financially learn, be inspired, and perform. See you next time.